Hi, this video is coming to you from San Francisco Community Health Center. My name is Dwyer. My role here is as a clinical supervisor. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and I use he, him pronouns.
Hi everyone, my name is Franza. I'm also a licensed clinical social worker here at San Francisco Community Health Center. I'm the director of behavioral health, so I oversee all of the therapists here at the agency, and I use she and her pronouns.
And today we're going to spend a little time talking about anxiety. And when we say anxiety, we're referring to worrying or nervousness that might feel like a sense of hyper-awareness, and you might also notice your heart rate beating faster than normal. And you can think of anxiety existing on a spectrum where on one hand, there's anxiety that we all have that can actually help give us a sense of urgency and awareness in order to protect ourselves. Like, for example, if you're not feeling any anxiety right now in response to the coronavirus pandemic, you may not be taking all the precautions that are necessary. And then on the other hand, there's a condition known as generalized anxiety disorder, which includes excessive constant worrying, often requires treatment with therapy or possibly medication. We're going to mainly be addressing anxieties somewhere in between those, at the point that it starts to get overwhelming and stifling and can cause pain or discomfort in your body. So we're definitely at a time when anxiety is at a collective high, and I can say for myself, I have to work hard to manage the anxiety I'm feeling. And I'm not typically an anxious person, but I am worried about getting infected with the coronavirus. And I still have these moments when I think I'm starting to come down with it. And actually a couple weeks ago, I started to feel this sort of like persistent tightness and tension in my chest. And I decided to set up an e-visit over the phone with my medical provider. And even as a therapist, and I've heard from clients who describe their experiences with anxiety and panic attacks, I still had difficulty identifying the impacts of anxiety in my body. And I just wanted to rule out coronavirus. So I think it's easy to overlook the fact that we might describe an emotion intellectually, but not realizing it manifests on our bodies. Anxiety can build up and it can get to the point that it feels like a heart attack coming on. I think it can also be important to know that even though you might not feel like you're especially anxious at the moment, you can still have anxiety stored in your body, causing tension in your chest or causing an uneasiness in your stomach. So I knew deep down I wasn't experiencing an infection in my lungs because of the coronavirus, and my medical provider just helped me ease some of the anxiety that I was experiencing. So after doing an assessment over the phone, my provider did assure me that I wasn't likely to have coronavirus because, number one, I didn't have a persistent cough, I wasn't experiencing shortness in breath, and the tightness in my chest was different from what people who do have coronavirus have described it as. My provider said the infection that the coronavirus causes in the lungs tends to cause pain when lying flat, and would also often cause a feeling of like pressure in the chest that would wake people up from the pain. Unfortunately, I wasn't experiencing that and still don't. And after my e-visit, I just had peace of mind that what I was experiencing was something I could manage on my own through some tried and true coping strategies. So Kate, what are some of your go-to coping strategies, either for yourself or with clients?
Well, the thing about anxiety is that sometimes it can happen on automatic pilot. So you can be, for example, taking your dog out for a walk and going for a walk around the corner, and by the time you get back, you kind of forgot everywhere that you went, or maybe weren't paying close attention to everywhere that you went because you were in your head. And what I mean by in your head is you were thinking about worries, what you wanted to do later, maybe how you wanted to spend the rest of your afternoon. And so that's when I say automatic pilot, that's what I'm referring to, because it happens almost automatically. Your brain starts to go into mode of thinking and it takes you out of the present moment. And so one of the ways that you can practice mindfulness, which is something that people talk a lot about with regards to managing anxiety, is to try and notice your five senses, for example, once you catch yourself going into deep thought. So if you're on a walk with your dog, that same walk that I just talked about, and you suddenly notice, oh, wow, I have been thinking for the last 20 minutes and I haven't been focusing on the moment. You might want to pay attention to the colors that you see, maybe even start naming them, like how many pinks do I see right now? Or how many circles do I see right now? You might want to notice the feelings that you're experiencing physically on your skin. So like the weather, the air feels cold, for example, or damp. You might want to focus on taste. Are you tasting anything right now? So it's really trying to notice what's happening around you while you're on that walk, so that you can come out of the kind of mental fog of just overthinking and be back in the current space. Sometimes pets are really helpful because you can actually like touch your pet to feel more present. So, what does their fur feel like? And you can use different strategies like that. It doesn't have to just be on a walk. So another example might be when you're washing your dishes, noticing how it feels, or when you're in the shower, noticing your 5 senses. And so I think there are many ways that you can practice mindfulness, and what it requires is kind of catching that the thought is happening, noticing it, and trying to focus on your senses so that ultimately your heart rate goes down. You'll notice that as you start thinking about the number of shapes you see, for example, rather than the worries about the past, that all the tension that Lance was describing and intensity in your body might get less and might start to subside. So those are just some examples of things that you can do to practice being more mindful to ease your anxiety. I don't know, Lance, if there's anything else you wanted to offer. Otherwise, I'm happy to talk about a little bit of what we have available at the agency.
Yeah, no, please, go ahead.
So if you go to our website, www.sfcommunityhealth.org, you'll notice that we have kind of a whole campaign going right now. And you can that campaign will pop up right when you open the website, and you can click through the various videos. So this video will be present on there. There'll be a video on managing depression symptoms, on harm reduction and substance use. And there's also going to be a list of the virtual resources that we have, many support groups that are happening at this time. You'll be able to access all of those. And we are currently accepting people for video and phone therapy. So if that's something that anybody is interested in starting, please give us a call, 415-292-3400, and you can hit extension 213, which will go to my extension. And I'm happy to talk to you about what you're looking for and try to match you with a therapist. And I think that's all for now.
Bye, everyone. Stay safe.